welcome. My name is Rachel, and today I'm going to be taking you through a nice fluid flow that's going to be focusing on Wild Thing pose. This is a nice all levels flow. I'd say maybe not if you're completely new to yoga. You might want to try out one of my more gentle, easy flows, which you can find on my channel. If you want to grab a couple of blocks or straps or any other props you might need, and as always, please remember to just go at your own pace. Child's pose is always there if you need it. And okay, let's begin. So we're going to start off in child's pose. So bringing your knees out wide, big toes to touch. I'm just going to walk your arms out, bringing your forehead down onto the mat. Sitting your bottom back onto your heels. And just taking some nice deep breaths here, just arriving on your mat. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Switching on your ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. Really starting to slow your breathing down. Last breath. And slowly coming up. I'm going to come into downward facing dog. So tucking under your toes, lifting your bottom back, coming into downward facing dog. Just making sure you spread your fingers nice and wide. Drawing your heels down to the mat. Feet hip distance apart, tilting your pelvis up towards the sky. Eyes of your elbows facing towards one another and rotating your upper arms, creating space. Your shoulders away from your ears. And you can just shake your head out here, relaxing your neck. Maybe walk your feet out on one leg and then the other. And then slowly tiptoeing your feet up to the top of the mat. Bringing your feet hip distance apart. We're just going to hang over your legs, coming into ragdoll, so you can keep your knees bent. Take hold of opposite elbow if that feels nice, and just gently sway from side to side, bending one leg and then the other. Making sure that the weight is shifted into the balls of your feet. Relaxing your neck. And then releasing your hands, are going to slowly come up to standing one vertebra at a time, making sure your head and neck come up last. And then coming to stand at the top of your mat. So bringing your feet together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Bringing your hands down beside you. I'm just going to roll your shoulders up and back. Making sure your chin is parallel to the mat. Gaze forwards. I'm just going to take a moment here just to set an intention for your practice. I'm going to take a couple of sun salutations, sun A's, just to warm us up. So as you inhale, sweep your arms up, gaze towards your hands. Exhale, fold forward, hands come down to the mat. You can bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, come up into your fingertips, look forward. Exhale, stepping back into your high plank. I'm just going to hold a high plank just for a second, really pushing away from the mat with your hands, doming your upper back, gauging your core, and then coming down onto your knees, chin, chest, snaking forward into your baby cobra, and tucking under your toes as you exhale, pushing back through into your downward facing dog. I'm taking a couple of breaths here. Making sure you keep your spine nice and long. And then looking forwards, stepping forwards with your right, followed by your left. Inhale, come up into your fingertips. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, look forward. Exhale, step, or you can hop back, coming down through your chaturanga or knees, chin, chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, just taking a couple of breaths here. Making sure you spread your fingers nice and wide, index fingers pointing forwards. Tilting your pelvis up towards the sky. And on your next inhale, look forwards and either step or you can hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Hands come down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Exhale, step or hop back, coming through your chaturanga or knees, chin, chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, you're going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky, coming into your three-legged dog. And then you're going to bend your knee, opening up your hip, making sure that you keep your shoulders square to the mat, spreading your fingers nice and wide. And then from here, you're going to place your left hand into the center of the mat, and we're going to flip over, coming into wild thing. So reaching your right arm back behind you, keeping your hips nice and lifted. You're on the ball of your right foot, left leg is extended. Reaching back behind you, gaze towards your right hand. And then coming all the way back round, placing your right hand onto the mat, and then we're going to come onto the knife edge of your right foot, coming into Vashisthasana side plank, reaching your left arm up, gaze towards your left hand, keeping your hips nice and lifted. Breathing here. And then bringing your hand behind your left knee, we're going to bring your foot slowly all the way to the top of the mat. So your left foot is in the inside of your right hand. Reach your left arm up, coming into easy twist. Staying up on the ball of your right foot, gaze towards your left hand. And then from here we're going to pivot round, coming into Skandasana on the left side. So you can either keep your hands on the mat, making sure that you're flexing your right foot, or if you can, bring your hands to your heart center, lifting your chest. And then from here, going to pivot round, placing your right hand down onto the mat. And this time we're going to flip over, coming into wild thing on the other side, reaching your left arm back from the ball of your left foot, right leg out long, keeping your hips nice and lifted. And then coming all the way back round, placing your left hand down. I'm going to pivot onto your right foot and extend your left leg out long, coming into fallen triangle. Keeping your left foot lifted, reaching your right arm up. And then coming all the way down into our wide straddle for one breath. And then placing your right hand behind you, reach your left arm up, lifting your hips. And then coming all the way back round, placing your hands on the mat, stepping back through and taking your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just taking a moment here just to reset. Moving on to the left side, so inhale, sweep your left leg up, coming into our three-legged dog. And then bend your left knee, making sure that you keep your shoulders square to the mat. Opening up your hips. And then placing your right hand into the center of the mat, flipping over, coming into Wild Thing, lifting your hips, reaching back behind you, the ball of your left foot. And then coming all the way back round, coming into Avashistasana, so basing your left hand down, coming onto the knife edge of your left foot, bringing your feet together, reach your right arm up, gaze towards your right hand, keeping your hips nice and lifted. And then bringing your hand behind your right knee, we're going to slowly bringing it to the top of your mat, and then reach your right arm up, coming into our easy twist. Gaze towards your right hand, staying up on the ball of your left foot, and then pivoting round, coming into Skandasana on the right side. So again, either keeping your hands on the mat, or if you can, bringing your hands to heart center, keeping your chest nice and lifted. And then pivoting round, placing your left hand down, and we're going to flip over, coming into Wild Thing on the other side. Lifting your hips, stretching your arm back as much as you can. Gaze towards your right middle finger. And then from here, we're going to flip back round. So bringing your right hand onto the mat, lift your left arm up and extend your right leg out, coming into fallen triangle. Holding here, keeping your foot lifted. And then placing your leg down, coming into our wide leg straddle. And placing your left hand behind you, sweep your right arm up, lift your hips, gaze towards your right hand. And then coming all the way back round, placing your hands on the mat, coming through your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, just taking a few moments here. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And moving on, so inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands, coming into a low lunge. Keeping your chest nice and lifted, gaze forwards. Staying up on your fingertips. And then I'm going to heel toe your right foot over to your left wrist, setting up for our pigeon pose. Making sure that you keep your hips squared. Remember, you can always grab a block and place it under your right glute. So inhale to prepare, and either staying here or as you exhale, we're going to walk our arms out, making a little pillow with your hands, if that feels nice, coming all the way down. breathing into any tight spots. And you can either stay in your pigeon, or if you'd like to try mermaid pose, we're going to come up, making sure that you keep your hips nice and squared. And then bend your left foot, bringing it in to the crease of your left elbow. And again, either you can stay here, or if it's available to you, you can take the bind, keeping your chest nice and lifted. Slowly release. Placing both hands down onto the mat, you're going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky, coming into our three-legged dog. And from here, you're going to bend your right knee, bring your left hand to the center of the mat, coming back into our wild thing, reaching your right arm back behind you, lifting your hips. And then coming all the way back round, taking your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, sweep your left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands, coming into your low lunge. Staying up on your fingertips, gaze forwards, keeping your chest lifted. Staying up on the ball of your right foot. And then from here, we're going to heel toe your left foot over to your right wrist, coming into our pigeon pose. So keeping your hips nice and squared. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, coming down onto your forearms, making a little pillow with your hands if that feels nice. Slowing down your breathing. And then again, either staying here, or if you like to take mermaid on the other side. So coming up, making sure that you're nice and stable in your hips. Hips are nice and squared. And then we're going to bend your right knee, bringing it into the crease of your elbow. And either staying here, or if you can, reaching behind and taking the bind. Making sure that you keep your chest nice and lifted. And slowly releasing. I'm going to tuck under your right foot and sweep your left leg up towards the sky, coming into our three-legged dog. And from here, placing your right hand into the center of the mat, flipping over into our wild thing, reaching your left arm back behind you, right leg out long, lifting your hips as much as you can. And then coming all the way back round and taking your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, we're just going to look forward, and you can either step or hop through to seated. So coming into Navasana, boat pose. So bringing your hands behind your knees, bringing your legs into a tabletop, engaging your core, keeping your chest nice and lifted. And you can either stay here or bring your arms out beside you, palms facing upwards. And if you want, you can extend your legs, keeping your spine straight, chest lifted. And then from here, grabbing hold of your two big toes with your peace fingers, and we're going to open out our legs into a straddle, keeping the balance, stay nice and straight in your spine. And then releasing, crossing over your legs, hopping back or stepping back through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then from here, we're going to come onto our knees. I'm just going to take a couple of back bends, coming into camel pose. So place your hands on your sacrum, so pointing your fingertips pointing upwards. And then keeping your knees hip distance apart. And from here, just going to open up your chest and then just leaning back slightly, coming into a nice little gentle back bend here. Gaze forwards. And then making sure you engage your core as you come back up. And we're going to take camel again, and this time you can take the same again, or if you want to go a little bit further, we're going to start off with the same, bringing your hands onto your sacrum. Inhale to prepare, exhale, slowly coming back, and either staying here, or if you can, bringing both hands onto your heels, opening up your chest a little bit more. You can bring your head back if that feels comfortable on your neck, gazing behind you. Making sure that you're pushing forwards with your hips. And then looking forwards, and I'm just going to sit back onto your heels. I'm going to take one final back bend, same camel again. So taking either one of those variations. So starting off with your hands on your sacrum. Inhale to prepare as you exhale. Going backwards, pushing your hips forwards, opening your chest. And then either staying here or bringing your hands onto your heels. And then if that feels comfortable, bring your head all the way back. Slowly coming out. You're going to bring your legs round in front of you. And we're just going to come onto our backs. And from here, you're going to hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. And then extending your left leg out long. You're going to bring your right knee over, coming into our spinal twist. So your left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. Reach your right arm out long, gaze towards your right hand. And close your eyes. And then coming back through center, hugging both knees in. Extending your right leg out long, drawing your left knee over. Extend your left arm out long, gaze towards your left hand. Close your eyes. And then coming back through center, hugging both knees in. I'm just going to take a happy baby to finish, so taking hold of your big toes with your peace fingers or the outside edges of your feet, and just drawing your knees in towards your armpits. You can sway here. And release, and coming down for our Shavasana. So bringing your feet as wide as a mat, palms facing upwards, closing your eyes, and we'll just take a couple of deep releasing breaths. So inhale through your nose, exhale out through your mouth, and again inhale through your nose, exhale out through your mouth. Last one, inhale through your nose, exhale out through your mouth, and then just let your breath return to its normal pace. Please stay here for as long as you need to. Otherwise, it's going to start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe circling your wrists and your ankles. Stretching your arms out overhead, giving yourself a nice deep stretch. Pointing your toes. And keeping your eyes closed, you're just going to roll over to your right hand side, making a little pillow with your hands. And then slowly coming up to seated. Taking a nice, easy cross-legged position. Placing your hands on your knees. Slowly opening your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed that sequence. Please comment and like and subscribe below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.